Welcome back to Ani Summary. We are very close to 15,000 subscribers, so please consider subscribing. In the last episode, Nagare had taken Hakumen's side, and Atsuzawa had decided to destroy the stone pillar. The next day Reiko receives a painting of hers, which was made by Ushio himself, and Reiko likes it very much. Here Nakamura is still searching for Ushio. Just then she sees the truck of Hammer Institute passing from here. Nakamura immediately stops the truck and tells the officer, "I really need to see Ushio," after which the officer asks her name. On the other hand, Atsuzawa and his men have made full preparations to fire the missile, but Nagare is also here and he is waiting for Tora and Ushio. After some time Ushio also comes to this port with Tora, because he wants to save his mother, but seeing them Nagare attacks, after which Tora also uses his lighting power. Now Tora gets angry because of this, so he again goes to attack him, but then Ushio stops the fight of these two, and tells Tora, "Nagare saved us whenever we needed him. So if you won't stop you are gonna have to fight me." But Nagare does not care about these things. He attacks Ushio and says, "I have switched to Hakumen's side." But Ushio doesn't understand why Nagare is doing this. Then Nagare says, "I have always wanted to see the scene where Hakumen is revived and completely destroys Japan." Now Tora tries to convince Ushio, because they have not much time, and the ships were taking off. Seeing this, Tora decides to stop Nagare and asks Ushio to stop them. But Ushio warns Tora not to kill Nagare, and says, "If you kill him, I will make you regret it." After this he leaves from here. Now Nagare tells Tora that I always wanted to fight with you, and after that both start fighting with each other. On the other hand Ushio comes to the commander and says, "There is someone at the stone pillar who is sealing Hakumen, so if you fire that missile she will die, and Hakumen will come back." That's when Atsuzawa comes over here. But he also didn't even remember anything about Ushio, and he thinks Ushio is one of Hakumen's minions. Now we see two civilians here, those who were sent by the agency to operate Undine. But Jazd said they did not need the Undine anymore. Just then they send Ushio to this place as well. But Ushio was still talking about saving his mother and Goro overhears him. On the other hand Tora and Nagare were fighting with each other. During this Nagare hears the sound of wind. He then starts fighting with Tora and remembers some of his childhood memories, in which he always won. Here Ushio has made Goro and Akabane hostage, because of which Atsuzawa is unable to do anything. That's when we learn that it is actually Goro's idea and he wants to help Ushio. But Ushio does not even know why Goro wants to help him. Then Goro says, "I saw that serious look in your eyes. That's what made me want to use this." After this Goro comes to Undine with Ushio and Akabane. Meanwhile, Atsuzawa is about to fire tear gas at Ushio, but at the same time a helicopter of Hammer Institute arrives here. And Hammer Institute also sent a message to Atsuzawa. Just then Nakamura jumps down from the helicopter, and seeing her here Ushio gets shocked. After this he starts asking Nakamura, "What are you doing here?" Then Nakamura starts saying, "I heard from the professors. The beast spear makes you lose your humanity. However, I do not even know you. You are going to take that spear and go fight. But I would not let you go, because I want us to live together as humans." Hearing this Ushio tells Nakamura, "I am glad you are alive. But Goro is now ready to start the ship." Nakamura tells Ushio that if you fight anymore, you would not ever return to being human again. On this Ushio tells Nakamura, "My wounds are not healing as fast like before, and I overused the beast spear, so I figured that I would not be able to come back again." After hearing this Nakamura gets very emotional. But Ushio wants to go there at any cost. Nakamura then gives Ushio a small Kirlian oscillation device from the Hammer Institute that can be operated remotely. Also Nakamura asks Ushio to save Oyakumi. Then Ushio says, "That was my plan too." After this he comes inside the ship. But Nakamura was still here and tells Ushio, "I honestly was not going to let you go. But if you are going I do not care if you turn into a beast. Just come back safe." After this Nakamura starts crying a lot. Seeing this Ushio also gets emotional, and says, "Nakamura, I love you." On the other hand Atsuzawa has got the Kirlian oscillation device of Hammer Institute, which the professors have asked to equip in the sub. Here Tora has badly beaten Nagare. After this Nagare increases his strength and tells Tora, "I can do anything." Hearing this Tora goes to attack him. But this time Nagare beats him badly and imprisoned him. Nagare starts telling Tora, "I have been able to do everything ever since I was a kid. No matter how hard others tried I always won. Even I do not feel disappointment or happiness. That's why I am not allowed to enjoy life. And just when I thought my boring life would be over in no time, that minion of Hakumen appeared before me. When he asked Nagare, "Have you any desire to side with Hakumen?" Then Nagare said, "There is nothing I look forward to more than taking him down." But the minion of Hakumen knew this was a lie, because it knew the thing he wants to fight most is Tora. But after this Nagare starts thinking about Ushio, because it seemed to his eyes, he believes in Nagare no matter what. But even after this Nagare is ready to fight with Tora. Suddenly Tora starts laughing. Seeing this Nagare asks Tora the reason for this. Then Tora says, "You just could not bear to see Ushio's eyes, and you are supposed to be some kind of genius or something." On hearing this Nagare gets very angry and starts beating Tora badly. But now Tora was also very angry. So when Nagare comes to attack him next time, Tora stops him very easily. Tora then says, "I will never lose to a human, who is so afraid of some brat's eyes and betrays his friends." After this Tora injures Nagare very badly. But Nagare still goes to attack Tora in anger. And Tora injures him easily this time as well. However, Nagare is not ready to give up and comes again to attack Tora. After which Tora injures him more badly. But this time Nagare stands up again and decides to attack Tora with full moon formation. Seeing this Tora also gets ready to face it. Now Nagare attacks Tora. But Tora confronts it with all his might and injures Nagare. After this Nagare's condition becomes very bad and accepts his defeat. He asks Tora, "Have you been never lost?" Then Tora says no, though I do not count that damned beast's spear. Nagare then says, "I guess I should have fought you earlier. But tell Ushio for me that Nagare was a bad guy to the core. Because I really switched to Hakumen's side and really tried to kill you. So that's why you did not hold back and killed me." After this Nagare asks Tora, "Did you hold back because of what Ushio said?" On this Tora says, "Why should I have to go to that kind of trouble?" But now Nagare dies. Now Tora is also upset by this and immediately goes to help Ushio. On the other hand, Ushio is on his way to the stone pillar with Goro and Akabane. Suddenly the ship starts shaking. And now the people of Atsuzawa are ready with the submarine. Here Ushio gets upset and does not understand what has happened all of a sudden. Then Goro explains, "This might be a wall that Hakumen's demonic energy created." So the Jazd was prepared to fire special torpedoes. Seeing this Akabane talks about returning back. Because the pressure on the hull is rising. But now they have come very close to the stone pillar. Akabane gets very scared seeing this now. Because Hakumen was actually bigger than the stone pillar. Now Ushio gets upset. Because he wants to save his mother. But he does not want to drag Goro and Akabane into it. Just then Goro asks Ushio, "What are you planning to say to your mom when you will see her?" Then Ushio says, "I am thinking about complaining. Because I was always told that my mom died. So I want to tell her how lonely I am, and about all the bad things that happened." Hearing this Goro activates the full speed of the ship. Because he wants to help Ushio in any condition. After this Akabane also decides to help Ushio and activates maximum speed of the ship. After some time these people come near the stone pillar. But now they do not see any way to go inside from here. Just then Ushio sees a glowing place above, which was actually the way to go in. Seeing this Goro immediately takes the ship to that place, where the shaking caused by Hakumen's demonic energy has stopped. Now Ushio thanks Goro and Akabane for their help. And after that he starts going inside. During this Ushio starts thinking about many things. Because he wants to complain about it to his mother. After this Ushio comes to other side, where Hakumen was sleeping and his mother had sealed him with her power. Now Ushio gets very sad seeing his mother in such condition. Because she is fighting Hakumen all by herself. Seeing his mother in this condition Ushio gets emotional. And now he could not even say anything. That's when his mother calls his name. Hearing this Ushio immediately appears in front of her. But his mother bows before him. Ushio is shocked by this and forbids her to do so. Then his mother says, "Although I never believed I had the right. But how many times I have dreamed of hearing you call me Ushio." Ushio sees his mother for the first time today and is unable to say anything. Here Atsuzawa has got an idea of the location of his target. So he tells his people to fire all torpedoes at the stone pillar, then leave these waters at full speed. On the other hand Ushio's mother says to Ushio, "I had left you in childhood and came here. And now you have grown so much." Now Ushio was unable to speak anything to his mother. Because at this time his mind is completely blank. Just then Ushio's mother notices a scar on his forehead and gets worried about it. Because she has put him through so much trouble while she has been gone. Though it was her duty, since she abandoned him and his father to come here. So she tells Ushio, I no longer have the right to call myself your mother. Hearing this, Ushio starts showing all the bruises on his body, which he got while fighting with different monsters. So he tells his mother, "Scars are nothing out of the ordinary for me. It is not your fault at all." After this, Ushio starts cleaning the dust and stones that have fallen on his mother. Just then his mother says, "I have a favor to ask you." Hearing this, Ushio immediately comes in front of his mother, after which she asks Ushio, "May I pat your head?" Here Tora is going to find Ushio. At the same time he sees something, which actually looked like two big monsters. On seeing these, the commander and his companions get very upset, because both these monsters are also going into the direction of Hakumen. So the commander thinks they might get in the way of their plan, but they are no longer able to contact their team. On the other hand, water ships are ready to fire special torpedoes. Just then we find out, these two monsters are actually a group of yokai from east and west. Shino feels, the perfect time to strike Hakumen is after the humans destroy that woman's barrier. But Osha knows they would not be able to defeat Hakumen this way. So he tries to stop Shino. Meanwhile, Atsuzawa's men fire special torpedoes. On the other hand, Ushio is very happy to talk to his mother today. After this he sits in front of his mother, but as soon as his mother goes to touch him, at the same time torpedoes come and start hitting the stone pillar. Now because of this the whole place starts breaking down. Seeing this, Ushio gets very upset, because he had come here to save his mother, but he could not even stop the torpedoes. After this, Ushio asks his mother to leave from here. On this his mother starts saying, "My power to hold up the barrier has reached its limit, and Hakumen tricked humans into attacking this place, meaning that the time has come. I also just wanted to be with you, but it appears this is the end. So now the only option left is to fight outside." Here Goro is waiting for Ushio to come even in such a situation. Now Ushio gets very upset, because the barrier made by his mother begins to weaken, and after some time Hakumen breaks it. Now Hakumen appears in front of Ushio, and he was surprised to see him. Hakumen is very happy to be free today, but this time Ushio is unable to do anything, because his body was not moving at all. Seeing this, Ushio's mother starts saying, "Even if you go outside, the only thing that awaits you is destruction. Because Ushio the yokai and the humans will make sure of it." Here the people of Atsuzawa see something coming towards them from the stone pillar, because of which everyone's condition worsens. Because now the stone pillar was also destroyed. Osha still trying to stop Shino, but Shino does not listen to him. After this, as he is about to go ahead from here, Hakumen comes over here and attacks him. At the same time Tora also comes here, but as Hakumen comes out completely, Tora is also shocked to see him, and this part ends. I will upload the next part very soon. So please like this video and subscribe to Ani Summary. But if you have missed the previous part, then definitely watch the video of the left side.